A look at the Manchester Cathedral, and back inside the Manchester Aquatic Center, we're set for the women's 400-meter individual medley.
Firstly, the E-Stars.
As we take a look at some of the European stars, first, Francesca Segat of Italy will be up in lane 2, an Olympian back in 2004 in Athens. And then from here in Great Britain, Hannah Miley in lane 4, who just a couple of weeks ago won this event at the European Championships. And then also her fellow countrywoman Carrie-Anne Payne in lane 6.
Three swimmers for the USA.
But they'll be hard pressed to get ahead of the contingent from the United States, Rowdy.
In lane 1.
And we will start with Julia Smith, a former world record holder in this event.
Smith swam for Stanford, has had a great short course swimming career as well as long course.
And there is Katie Hoff. Disappointment this summer, not even making the World Championship team, but she's back here. Dagny Knudsen from the tiny town of Minot, North Dakota, is in lane 5. But there is Hoff, an Olympic bronze medalist in this event in Beijing, Rowdy. And then there's Hannah Miley. Who do you expect to come out on top here?
Well, this is going to be a very good race on paper anyway, because you've got a lot of different swimmers that specialize in different strokes. Hoff has sort of had a little bit of a comeback here at the end of this year, though, Dan. Talk about an up-and-down career. Hoff in lane 3 had a pretty good year in 2008, making the Olympic team in so many different events, and then just went the opposite way in 2009, this past summer, when she didn't even make that World Championship team.
Any reason that you can point to why Hoff didn't even make the World Championship team? That was a surprise to many.
I really think, Dan, if we look back at it in Beijing, when she got out-touched for that gold medal in the 400 freestyle, I think that started the downward spiral for her. I think it was a lot for her to overcome. I think she ended up getting burned out a little bit this past summer, but she's really come back here the last part of 2009. She moved to California from her hometown in Baltimore, and I think that freshness has really changed her outlook on swimming, and she's been swimming very well. I saw her swim in Seattle, talked to her in Seattle at the National Championships a couple weeks ago. She won this event, the 400 IM, so I think she's on the comeback trail.
And still just 20 years old and already a 3-time Olympic medalist. So we'll see how Katie Hoff comes back in the coming years, as Julia Smith has the lead as they switch to the backstroke, followed by Dagny Knudsen from North Dakota, a senior in high school. A great story, and of course, North Dakota, not exactly a hotbed of swimming.
No, it's not, but even though she's kind of the Lone Ranger in Minot, she has had a wonderful career up to this point. Just a senior in high school, getting ready to go to Auburn University, highly recruited. And, you know, some people might say a little bit of a disappointing summer this past summer. Even though she made the World Championship team, it was only on relays, and she's just waiting to kind of bust out, and I think she will. She's going to be one to watch heading into London in a couple of years.
Knudsen was 3rd after that last turn. Segat of Italy up there in lane 2, who's below Julia Smith at the top of your screen in lane 1. Smith continues to lead here and is looking very impressive. A former world record holder in this event, 22 years old now, and in the fast suit. And worth mentioning because the rules changed in 2010.
Yeah, they do. And in fact, USA Swimming changed the rule as of October 1st. So now these swimmers cannot break American records, even though they can break world records. This is the last chance you're going to see these high-tech suits. So say goodbye to them, because as of January 1st, the entire world will go back to what they used to be.
And most of the swimmers in the world have certainly dabbled in the fast suits. Michael Phelps comes to mind among a select few who have never put on the fast suits. But look how far ahead of the world record line Smith is up there in lane 1. In fact, we've got 4 swimmers under world record time right now, as it's Smith and Knudsen 1-2 right now.
Yeah, she is way ahead of world record pace. And she's another one, Dan, that you're just, I'm on pins and needles waiting for her to kind of have that spectacular meet put together. She had an okay summer. She made the team in a couple of IM events and finished in the top 8 in the 400 IM, but she really hasn't put together a great long course meet. Even though she made the Olympic team in 2008, She only made it on relays, and so I think this is a chance for her to really kind of move into 2010 with a lot of momentum, and she is going to smash the world record.
And normally, Rowdy, if you watch Olympic swimming over the years, the favorite swimmers or the top qualifiers are in the middle of the pool in lanes 3 and 4. In this case, you've got Julia Smith on top there in lane 1 because the coaches for both of the respective teams have a choice of where they put their 3 swimmers in these individual events.
And that's correct. And the United States will always be in lanes 1 toward the top of your screen, 1, 3, and 5. The Europeans will always be in 2, 4, and 6. So each team will have an outside lane, which is some considered a bit of a favorite because you've got that calm water on one side of the swimmer. So Julia Smith, having the hot hand, gets the outside lane, and she's taking advantage of it.
And she is just blowing away the field here, so it's really a battle for second as Smith is the only swimmer ahead of the world record line, and she's a ways ahead of it. 4:21.04 smashes the world record. In second is Knutson down there in lane 2, and then Miley of Great Britain was third.
What a great swim by Julia Smith and Dagny Knutson to slip in there and get second. More big points for the United States, but once again, Julia Smith, very good in the middle of the pool. Her backstroke and breaststroke are her specialties. That's where she kind of took off and then kind of headed it into freestyle with a huge lead, which has got to give you a lot of confidence. You've got that calm water on one side of her, big smile at the end.
You'd be smiling big, too, if you break the world record by nearly 2 seconds like Julia Smith does as the United States continues to pile up big points. Knutson was second. Hannah Miley was third.